Excel Magic 5. Building an interactive budgeting model in Excel. In this course, I'm going to show you how to build an interactive budgeting model in Excel that allows users to edit in a pivot table, which, in my opinion, is a game changer, as pivot table is notorious for its rigidity and non-editability. So this interactive budgeting model will be built on top of an editable pivot table. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Forecasting and budgeting environment. Regarding forecasting and budgeting, the first question that usually comes to our mind is where to budget. Usually we have three choices. The first is budget in Excel only. Second, budgeting in the planning system. Third, budgeting in a mixed environment, including Excel and the budgeting system. Now let's compare the three choices. First, to budget in Excel, the pros are: it is very easy to use and requires less formal training. Second, in the planning system, it is easy to consolidate all the final results, and it has great version control. Third, for the mixed environment, it usually allows your operation team to use Excel. Hence, it requires less formal training. Also, the finance team can still administer budgets in the system. The cons for budgeting in Excel only. First, it is hard to consolidate. Second, Excel provides poor version control. Second, cons for budgeting in planning system. Sometimes it is very hard to use a new system and also requires more formal training. The cons for the mixed environment is that the operation team cannot see the final results as they would in the system. Forecasting and budgeting challenges. Challenges in modeling. Number 1. How to accommodate operation teams' need to budget in Excel files while we keep all budgets in the planning system. Number 2. How to build an interactive budgeting model in Excel to mimic budgeting in the system while still syncing with the system. Number 3. How to write into a pivot table. Now let's see what options we have. If we budget in the planning system, the data source will stay with the system, and there will be no modeling required. The quality is good. However, if the finance team is budgeting in the system while the operations is budgeting in Excel files, we do have some dilemmas. First, the data source extracts from the system. However, if we use all formulas to generate the reports, the report is fair. By fair, I mean it is not as dynamic as building the model in pivot tables. On the other hand, if we build the models using pivot tables and try to write into them, we would usually be hit with the error message saying, "Can't change this part of the pivot table." Does that ring a bell? So if the model cannot be editable by the operation teams, the model is poor. However, in this course, I'm going to show you how to make editable pivot tables so that you can make your modeling interactive. The quality is, of course, good. Forecasting and budgeting challenges, Part 2. Challenges in reporting. Number 4. How to report budgets originating from the planning system. Number 5. How to seamlessly combine actuals and budgets from different data sources and report in one table. Number 6. How to effectively present Excel reports in PowerPoint slides. Now let's compare our options. When we have the data source from the system only, we can report either with a screenshot or report in Excel. As for the presentation, we can also use the screenshot, but the quality is not that good. If the report is from Excel, we can use linked image, and the quality is pretty good, which I'm going to show you in this course. Second, if the data source is from System and Excel, we can use manual consolidation in Excel for the reporting. Or if we use Power Query, we can seamlessly combine actuals and budgets from different data sources. As for the presentation from Excel, we can still use the link image. And the result will be fair for manual consolidation and good for Power Query. Before we move on to the course, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Lenny Wu. I'm a PD instructor at various online platforms. I received my MBA Finance in the year 2000 from the George Washington University. I also received my CPA CGA in 2012 from CPA Canada. I'm a certified Adaptive Insights professional and a certified Zero Accounting partner. I used to sit as an examiner of IELTS, or International English Language Testing System. I was an exam trainer of TOEFL, or Test of English as a Foreign Language, GRE, or Graduate Record Examination, and GMAT, or Graduate Management Admission Test. I have over 22 years working with Microsoft Excel, being a modeling expert in Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power BI. I'm a proponent of OCR, or one-click reporting, and SSR, or self-service reporting. Next, in response to some feedback from my students, I would like to share my thoughts on how this course is compared with other similar courses. This course is not an academic course like others that teaches all skills from A to Z, whether they are useful or obsolete, such as concatenate in Excel. It does not tell you which formulas or skills are mostly used at work. This course is a practical course where it capitalizes on my 20+ years professional experiences in financial reporting and modeling. It builds upon my 22+ years Excel and 5+ years Power Query experiences. It has the top crucial skills handpicked by me so that you can get your foot in the door and survive in the office environment. It focuses on business uses versus academic uses. For example, how to control your reporting period with the timeline. It opens doors to more opportunities and promotions at office. In summary, I'm not teaching you skills for the sake of teaching skills. I'm teaching you only the relevant skills that will automate your workload and get yourself excel at work. Okay, what you will get from this course. At the end of the course, you'll be able to understand why and how to build an interactive budgeting model in Excel. Identify reasons in building a pivot table report versus a regular report with formulas. Discover techniques on building an editable pivot table. Understand ways to report budgets from the system using a pivot table. Explore methods of consolidating actuals and budgets from multiple data sources. Solution to challenge number 1. Building an interactive budgeting model. If you recall, at the beginning of this course, we talked about 6 challenges relating to modeling and reporting. Challenge number 1. How to accommodate the operation team's need to budget in Excel files while we as the finance team keep all budgets in a planning system. Well, the solution is we need to build an interactive budgeting model in Excel that uses data from the planning system, such as this flat table or a cross table from the planning system, depending on which system you are using. Now let's take a deeper look at these tables. First, flat table. For a flat table, you can see that each column shows one category of items. For example, organization, you can see Florida, California, Oregon, etc. And especially for period, you can see all dates in one column. However, if you look at the cross table, you can see some of the locations in one column, not a problem. Account in one column, But if you look at the row headers, these are the periods. So the periods is not in one column. For example, January 21, February 21, they are all in the column headers rather than in one column. So if the column headers include similar items such as this period, it is considered a cross table. For our modeling purposes, flat table is the best case scenario, and cross table is the worst case scenario, and there's nothing in between. And during this course, I'm going to show you how you can convert a cross table into a flat table that will be easier for you to do the pivot table. Okay, now the second one is once we build the interactive budgeting model, we need to make sure that the model mimics the planning system, meaning for the same data inputs, you will have the same data outputs, either from the planning system or from your budgeting model in Excel. Third, if we build this interactive budgeting model in Excel, it will save us time to train the operation team to use the planning system. Because Excel is a popular program, everybody knows how to use it, whether at a beginning level or at expert level. Fourth, the interactive budgeting model will allow the operation team to make changes to the forecasts and budgets directly in the Excel. Last, the model will provide instant results in Excel as the system will do. Perfect.